What's good, y'all? I'm Skip.
And I'm DJ.
And this is another episode of Deciphered. And today we are doing the first of 4 song breakdowns from Kendrick Lamar's latest album, GNX. And today we are doing a lyric breakdown on Man at the Garden. Before we get started, DJ, how you doing? Real quick, if this is your first time tapping into the channel, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want additional content, as I always say, join the YouTube members. We got enough of those, so now we're putting additional content on the YouTube member side. Or do it the other way and become a decoder, i.e. join the Patreon, which will be embedded in the description as well.
Yeah.
So, without any further ado, wait, real quick. If you are watching this video, like I said previously, and you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe. By the time of this recording, we are about 230, 240 away from 20,000 subscribers. So real quick.
Yes, sir.
So if you have not subscribed and you are new to the channel, subscribe first. Like, comment, and share after that. Go ahead and subscribe so we can hit 20,000. That'll be a huge milestone for us in 2024. To know where we came from in March all the way to now, huge accomplishment. So once again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Man at the Garden.
Yeah, man.
Man at the Garden.
The little series that we're doing now is probably my favorite songs on the album. The ones that we're gonna do. This is definitely one of the standouts. From first listen for sure. A lot of self affirmations in here
For sure.
and I think it's really important to where. Like, if you're putting in the work to better yourself, right, on an everyday basis, why not feel like, why not want to reap the benefits of your hard work?
For sure. Yeah, because I just look at it like you said, from the perspective of somebody who is just day in and day out living by the rules of a person who would live by and who will live with integrity and live by a specific code.
Having this one.
Exactly. And working hard and staying away from things that could take you off your path. You deserve what's going to come to you. Like, for example, and we ain't going to talk about him long, LeBron James.
Yeah, man.
Like, I may not think he's the best player of all time, which is really subjective at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But to say that he doesn't deserve all the accolades that he has as far as like his points scored, minutes played, all of that stuff, and him staying out of any trouble virtually, like as far as his life outside the court goes, like he deserves all of this stuff that he's gotten throughout his career. Like he earned it.
Yeah.
So with Kendrick and the energy that he's giving off in this song, like even the bad stuff, I deserve all that come with the life that I'm living at this current time. Because I'm working for it and I'm working towards it. So I felt that super I almost, y'all saw the reaction if you seen it. Yeah, I almost cried in a bit.
Just real quick about the LeBron, like the older I get, the more I start to appreciate like LeBron's legacy in terms of where he started and where he is now. I don't know if just because I've matured some.
Your legs and hips and shit starting to. And he ran this whole still dunking.
Like I see it, but it's hard not to recognize his greatness. Even like you said, if you don't think he's the greatest, it's hard for you to not at least say that top 3 or top 5. You
can't say he don't deserve.
Yeah,
like everybody that came in his class, they all gone, and he's still averaging 20 plus.
And he playing with they kids.
He deserve it, bro. even the people that's glazing him, quote unquote. I hate that terminology, but even the people that are like diehard LeBron stans, he earned that, so he deserve it. But let's get into these lyrics, bro. Like you said earlier about affirmations. I said I had the song listed as an ode to manifesting your environment. Okay, like you go, like a lot of the videos like on TikTok and shit, like it's like people like standing in front of the window when the song playing, like they just like meditating over what they day gonna be before they go outside and go to work or whatever the case is. Just saying that I deserve it all portion. Like everything that you about to go out there and get, you go and attack it with confidence, right? Because you feel like you already deserve it, and that's just extremely powerful. And I feel like that's why he continued to repeat that.
And if
throughout the song.
And if you are religious and you are of the faith, if you put your faith in God and allowing God to guide your steps, you're ready for whatever comes with it because you're not even dictating that path. You're moving down that road of what He's dictating for you, and at the end of the day, He always got a plan for you, whether you like it or not.
Proverbs 16:9.
So
a man's heart divides his steps, but the Lord orders his path. Like that's what this says. Yeah. That's what this says. And somebody said some and we'll get to it when we get to it. I just, since it's on my mind, somebody said that the man at the garden reminded them of the Garden of Gethsemane. And I was like, I meant to look that up some more. Crazy enough,
I've heard of it before,
it was in my Bible plan last week. Mm-hmm. But I wish I could have not sat down, but just went back and forth with them on social media, see what their thought process about it was.
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't get that from this.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to research that a little bit.
Yeah, because when he was in Gethsemane, that was before he was going to get crucified. And he was like, Lord, if it's your, at first he was like, nah, please, God, don't. Please don't. But then he was like, God, if it's your will, let your will be done. So I think that portion, because a lot of the part where he was like, basically he was talking about good and bad. I deserve it all. So I think that may be the part that they were referring to. I just don't know, but I think that would be what they were referring to.
Yeah, I'd like to do a little bit more research.
There's some smoke in this song too.
You think so?
I know. I don't know so.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't know so.
I'm rather sure.
I'm riding with you whether you say it is or not. But I'm just saying.
I'm rather sure, and I do dare to explain.
Okay, hey, let's get to it. You want to start?
We're gonna start first verse, first bar. Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
Twice emotional stability, sound mind and tranquility. I think that's what he said. I deserve it all. Yeah. Okay, so I went from that all the way to flying private, what you eat for lunch. I deserve it all. So all of that is in this part.
Yeah.
I say Kendrick is speaking to his mental, spiritual, emotional, and environmental desires that he feels he deserves as a result of his work and intention. Mm-hmm. The respect and the accolades, lamping on an island watching Castaway. And then that goes all the way to 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. Then I'm gonna let you. But I said Kendrick. I feel Kendrick is alluding to survivor's guilt in a way, and being able to give back to the families of those good people he felt were gone too soon, which would serve as good karma and ease his spiritual balance and acceptance of the life he has gained.
Okay,
while those no longer here will never get to.
So for every good nigga that passed away, that's survived. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, whatever you got.
Majority of my notes start in verse 2.
Okay, we'll just let me rock out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What'd he say?
Because verse 1 was kind of straightforward for me, so I get it. So
he said, "Keep my name by the world leaders, keep my crowds loud inside of Visa. I deserve it all."
A Visa.
And then it goes all the way to the end of the verse. More money, more power, more freedom. Everything heaven allowed us. I deserve it all.
Yeah.
You hear that? I thought I heard something.
Yeah.
But Kendrick wants to remain as impactful as the world leaders, being able to reach and touch the hearts of millions of people for the betterment of society through music and his ventures creatively, like his PG Lane stuff with Cash App, doing the financial literacy and stuff like that. All while remaining true to his purpose and never misusing his influence. I say that a bunch of times throughout these reactions.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of this album, or a lot of the parts from the songs that we're going to cover, involves Kendrick finding a balance with influence. And go ahead.
Do you think because we know he was recording, he was actually in album mode during all the beef shit, right? But do you think a lot of this stuff is stemming from the fact of all the eyes he gained from the beef, or these are concepts and stuff he was already working on? Because it's easy to point out and say, understanding your influence, how people, flock to, sing your songs and your messages about Drake. So I just wonder if that's stemming from that, or this is just but this is stuff he was already working on.
I feel like. Okay, so we know for a fact Whacked Out Murals is from September.
Okay, so that's recent.
That was when his mural got hit.
Okay.
We know that it's some more songs in here that are walking to Walking to New Orleans with the etiquette of LA yellow mustard. We know TV off is post Super Bowl announcement. What else? I think one of the older songs may be Squabble Up, but that's still from this era. So I think a lot of this stuff is fairly recent, to be honest. I feel like he got a lot of perspective with this whole thing, like with with how people as far as people in the hip hop space, how some celebrated it, how some didn't. I feel like this whole album is based off that. I feel like he sat down and had a moment, because what it seems like to me is a big moment of clarity. Like he said, he's sober now. Like he's not drinking, he's not doing none of that. So he is of clear mind. And then he said on this song, he said, I run 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. But he also said he write like every day too. So if you writing on your run, you talking to God while you're on the beach and all of that, like you're of a clear mind. So I don't see why this would be hard pressed for him to put this together this fast. Yeah. Especially with a lot of the songs having elements that are extremely current. And then also like a song like TV Off sounds like it's of the same energy from a Not Like Us. Maybe not created at the same time because it's lyrics that definitely were like long after that. But just the energy from it. You know what I mean? And then the West Coast stuff that could be spurred off of like he ain't do nothing for the West or the energy post pop out. Yeah. So I feel like this album was created this year. I think songs like maybe Reincarnated, Gloria maybe.
Yeah, Luther, like those could have been stuff that's already.
But even in Gloria, in the third verse, he talking about wiggling through the sentence, catching a body.
I was gonna wait to get there, but that's yeah.
Let's not get to. But I did just want to say like that could be a direct connection to the Drake thing. But also in this song that we're gonna talk about in a minute, once we get to verse 2 and 3, there are also elements from the beef. On multiple people. So what did I say? I said he wants to remain impactful. I already said that part. Misusing his influence. He wants to live in the greatness and glory of the will of God and what he ordained over his life abundantly. The freedom aspect is the most important and resonates throughout the album. So whenever we do get a chance to do an album review, and it probably won't be this year, because we getting really close and we have not, I don't know about you, but I have not started at all on my album.
I haven't either.
I mean on my album of the year.
It's still albums I have not heard yet. So
you can go ahead and take off for verse 2 and I will get in where I fit in.
Well, verse 2, this is where I got in my notes. I said, you see, show your work, Big Sean.
Oh man.
But not necessarily to throw shots at Big Sean. 'Cause I mean, I rock with Big Sean. I like his music. But just but just some of the things I feel so what he was trying to get off on his last project. Like this what Kendrick did in this verse right here, I feel so is a good example of what I was talking about and what we would talk about in general about showing your work. Like, cause he said my intentions was pure, even when you weren't so sure, even with every allure, how much temptation you endured. You probably look for every cure. I deserve it all. Waking up at 6 a.m., 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. I say I deserve it all. Showing up as your friend, telling truths better than your next of kin. I deserve it all. Let's stop right there.
All right.
Because like I said, this right here, that alone, the 6 miles a day, condition your wind, on top of the stuff that he's given to the public. Like you see him publicly working out and things like that. Like, what are you doing also behind the scenes? Because people can put up a facade all day.
Yeah.
But this is literally like detailing like how his journey of self-improvement and for his actual body comes into play. So I like that. And then he said, like back at the start, because my intentions were pure, even when you weren't so sure. I think this kind of goes into the whole, like people, the stigma that people put on Kendrick as far as him being a savior and an activist in terms of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay.
Because he's like, even in Mr. Morale, he said, I'm not your savior. Mm-hmm. This is just who I am. This is what I believe. This is who I am. But in this right here, he said, because my intentions were pure even when you weren't so sure. I think that's kind of just like addressing the people and the doubters of what his actual intentions are in the music. And that's not something that he really does a lot until recently. I think he just kind of tired of all the...
I think it was a part of his maturation too, because he never once said that he was trying to save the world. Mm-hmm. Like, he was trying to help people through music, which is a noble pursuit. Yeah. But then you realize, okay, so real quick, the progression of his mindset through the music. Okay, so Good Kid, Mad City was like his introduction, his coming of age, and him realizing that, or him trying to help people in his city, because at the end, after the dude lost his life, they end up praying, and that's what it was like. Mm-hmm. Reaching out like, hey man, we can really like turn our life over to Christ. Like, regardless of what we did, we can be forgiven, you know, and all that stuff. Because at the end, like, it's gonna always lead to singing about me dying of thirst. Then you get to Pimp a Butterfly. You know, he go out, you know, he see the acclaim from Good Kid, Mad City. He want to bring his people out, like showing the world, let them know it's like something bigger than that, of what they come from, you know. And then he has like this moment of growth of consciousness and realizing like that even he needed to expand his mind. And then he, you know, sees what's going on in the industry, and just all of this stuff just brings him back home. Like, he was trying to show people something beyond home, but it ended up bringing him back home with his newfound perspective. So then he was able to help people, not save people. And I think people got that misconstrued. Like, like saving the world through music, like I think people took it so literal. It's like, but music and vibration is something that you can use to help heal the hearts and minds of people. You know what I mean? But that doesn't make him Jesus Christ. So then he goes through the process of damn, where he's like, bro, I can't help anybody until I help myself. That's what that entire album is about. And then him battling the duality of wickedness and weakness. You know what I mean? Either way you want to listen to the album, front with or backward, like he confronts and dies with either one of them. Or something dies. And I thought it was ego death. So then you go to Mr. Morale, and it's like, okay, this is my personal album. I'm fucked up. Let me fix me. Yeah. And then he get to this, and I feel like this is like the ode to the discipline it took him to get from To Pimp a Butterfly, damn, ultimately Mr. Morale. Like the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, like you said, discipline. I feel like this song in particular, especially this verse, is an ode to discipline.
And this, I was going to actually see what your opinion was on this. He said, I'm showing up as your friend, telling you truth better than your next of kin. What do you think that means exactly?
Okay.
Is this the smoke right here?
Yeah, part of it.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on. Okay, I'm glad you asked that.
That's kind of funny, man. We on the same page a little bit.
So,
a little bit.
Let me just start. Well, let me answer your question, then I'm going to go backwards and then forward. Okay, so all the way from I'm waking up at 6 a.m., better than your next of kin, I deserve it all. I perceive that as him being in a position to talk to Drake, well, not even Drake, Aubrey directly. Okay. I take it as that.
Okay.
I think here he's talking specifically to Aubrey. He's speaking to his discipline, like I said, his resolve, his ability to be honest and truthful, although painful to the recipient, when they've spent so long lying to themselves and living in an echo chamber. Kendrick discusses being willing to tell Aubrey things in a way that even his closest family members wouldn't, and showing up for him as a friend when he felt he needed the mirror placed in front of him the most.
Ah, damn. Yeah.
That's what I got.
I actually thought that was a J.Cole shot.
Oh, it's You wait 1 second, buddy. You wait 1 fucking second. Matter of fact, can I keep going?
You keep going.
Okay. let me do the beginning part too. Okay. I want to get through this. Okay, because my intentions was pure, all the way to probably look for every cure.
Yeah.
He's addressing the internal struggles of the flesh and temptation, and how ill intent can lead you down a path of no return without properly acknowledging your wrongs, i.e. the journey of Mr. Morale.
Yeah.
and damn in collection. This can lead people to looking for quote unquote cures and methods of unhealthy escapism, i.e., drugs, women, deceit, and conceit, etc. Kendrick said he deserves it all because to live an earnest life is to be tempted and live through trials, but instead to grow and persevere through it all, i.e., the Garden of Gethsemane. Yeah. So there's opportunities in living with loss. I discover myself when I fall short. From 616 in LA, 616 in LA, excuse me.
Yeah.
If you've been watching the reactions, I have said since I heard that song for the first time, this is spiritual warfare. Mm-hmm. Everything since that song has told me that Kendrick is in a place of spiritual discipline, trying to fight a battle on the spiritual front over music, while doing the work behind the scenes to improve himself so he could come and say these things and be steadfast in his position. And that's why he's on crash out time, because it's time to get out everybody who don't believe that.
Do you think that's why on the Hard Part 6 he said my views, my visions changed? That's why Black Hippie didn't survive?
No, I think that was prior to. I think that was way back.
Okay, way back.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Probably. I think he lost the intent or even the thought process of doing anything collaborative after Good Kid, Mad City. Gotcha. Like once he got in the lab and started brewing up to Pimp a Butterfly and saw that he was going on a level that, not a level, I don't want to say that, but going in a direction that nobody else in his camp was going, with the continuing that jazz and taking it to a whole nother space. I think he was like, yeah, I gotta run my race right now.
Gotcha.
And then you look up and by damn, he's a superstar. So I just think, and shit, even Q said like, bro, I didn't want to rap with them niggas, bro.
Yeah.
I think Black Hippie was more of a fan desire than an actual thing of theirs. Gotcha. I think they were a movement more so than a group.
Gotcha.
And but let me get to the next part. From I never asked for too much credit. Let me see if I can find this so I can rap it real quick. Yeah. I never asked for too much credit, seeking validation just for the aesthetics, bitch. I deserve it all. I see you as a human first. Even when you didn't understand your work, bitch, I deserve it all. It's innate to mind my business, writing words, trying to elevate these children. That's why I deserve it all. I pray for those who pray against me. Every reason why my ancestors sent me, bitch. I deserve it all. And that's the part I'm finna talk about. Yeah. And I told you it was some smoke. I feel like this portion is for J.Cole. Mm-hmm. So if you are a J.Cole fan and you are not willing to just listen, skip about 3 minutes forward, because we probably won't bring him up again.
No, not on this song, no.
Okay. So I said this could be aimed at J. Cole from affirming the big three, from affirming the term big three and first person shooter, to reshaping the narrative in hip hop around his proximity to Drake and Kendrick. Even dating back to Forest Hills Drive, and I quote, "It might be Drizzy Drake or Kendrick Lamar, but check the birthday, nigga. You ain't the God." From January 28th. Here goes another line from Heaven's EP. They threw the bronze at me while he was talking about the big three. And from First Person Shooter, we the big three like we started the league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. So with all of that, one could argue he built a brand post Born Center off of a connection to Kendrick and Drake, creating an aesthetic to garner attention and praise, as Kendrick refers to in this song. Let me finish real quick. Kendrick doubles down on the phrase, he deserves it all, because he really worked for the position J. Cole is trying to attach himself to through lore and connectivity, not production.
Honestly, I feel as though with the Cole thing, nobody truly put him at third. Like, he placed himself there.
Because it was never a 3-man weave to begin with.
Right.
He created that to include himself.
And I think he's the one that's always placed himself there. So we just looked at it and accepted it as that. Then over time, the numbers and the awards kind of cemented and certified that aspect of him being third. But for the most part, I don't think if he ever brought that up, I don't think this would ever truly be a thing.
I think he felt if he didn't acknowledge it, he wouldn't have been in the conversation. And that's what I'm saying. Like he said something in Wrecked Out Mirrors that we'll talk about later. I never lost what he said. I never lost who I was for a rap image. Like, and we'll talk about what that could possibly mean at a later time. But what he said, I see you as a human first, even when you didn't understand your worth. I think this is tied to Cole's persistent statements about feeling left behind and overshadowed for most of his career by Kendrick and Drake.
And that's the shit that pisses me off, because that's literally the same fucking message Cole said to Wale on fucking False Prophets. That's the same shit.
You remember I told you, like, people will speak to a position that they feel like they've surpassed because they don't perceive that they may be in the position again. I feel like it never stops.
That's literally the exact. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
Okay, look at it like this: if you the best player on your team,
yeah,
now you start comparing yourself to the best player in the conference. Then it's the best team in the nation. Then it's the best player in the league. Then it's the best player in the world. Now you're gonna continue to find. Then now you compare yourself to ghosts. It'll never stop.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get to a point where you're comparing yourself to stuff that you can't even realistically compare yourself to because they don't exist in it. They don't exist in a position to be compared with. You know what I mean?
Which goes back to what we were saying, show your work. Because there's never been an instance since False Prophets, at least that I can think of, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, where he's taking that same mantra that he tried to express to Wale, get him to understand. I don't ever remember hearing where he's expressing that in his music of his work and his journey to overcome that same shit.
I think, and I was talking to somebody about this at the gym. It was funny. Like, they was like, "Hey man, Skip, you actually got a real podcast. You got such a many subscribers." I think when people say podcast is like 9 subscribers, I was like, yeah, 2024. But that's not the point. That's not the point.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned it, but I don't. Okay, that's beside the point.
Yeah.
He was just surprised that when he saw the subscribers. That's the point.
Yeah.
But we had a conversation about J.Cole.
Yeah.
And the conversation was predicated around Drake and not Drake. J.Cole is one of two things. Either J.Cole is private to a fault where it's affecting his music, or two, J.Cole may also be suffering from the same arrested development that Drake is, but with J. Cole being so private, it doesn't show itself as much.
Yeah.
That's why when the pressure was applied in this specific situation, he acted in a way that wasn't necessarily in his character, that he says would extend to a previous point in time when he was younger and felt certain emotions. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But with as personal as he is about, his upbringing and, about his marital relationship, in certain pieces, I would kind of attribute it to him possibly having the arrested development too.
Yeah.
Because it's like you also, like, you did kind of like get super famous like in your early 20s. So it's easy to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just think I think, and it's obvious to me in the aspect of I feel like he keeps recreating the same music over and over.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drag J. Cole like I really could, because it's not necessary.
Right.
But yeah, I do feel like he's been avoiding his sophomore slump his whole career. Like he keeps making that freshman release every time, and that's why the content isn't progressing like it should.
No, Skill, don't do that.
I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, and that's light for what I could say.
Yeah.
But
it's innate to mind my business.
Exactly. So let me say this part to finish that part all the way to why my ancestor sent me. Kendrick believes he is truly living in his purpose, being a beacon for the next generation, also being able to wish well the people who prayed for his downfall, adds to the list of reasons why he feels like he's a manifestation of his ancestors and realizing the reason they sent him here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I got for first two.
I mean, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
That little, you pretty much answered what I thought or what I felt in that second verse. So, but the Drake, I didn't get the Drake shot. I get it now that you explained it. I was more so thinking about Cole. And then Drake ain't never mentioned the big three, nor has Kendrick ever.
J.Cole, because J.Cole had it was most advantageous for him to acknowledge it because he didn't feel like he was number one.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if I feel like I'm third internally, which he said on his podcast that he feel like Kendrick took off on him with Good Kid, Mad City, or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. So if he's been having that feeling of being third or whatever, and just being left out of the conversation, if he expands it to involve 3,
yeah,
or if he makes it more than media fodder, because the concept of the big 3 existed before J. Cole said it, but J. Cole made it. He made it real. Hip-hop. Exactly. Like when I searched who coined the term big 3, J. Cole name come up.
Yeah,
because he's the one that actually put it on wax first.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I don't think if he's ever said it, it would never be a thing.
It wouldn't be real.
Yeah,
it'll just be some fanfare.
Yeah.
But let's get into verse 3. You go ahead, bro.
Let's see. Verse 3. Let's see which one here. Oh yeah, verse 3 is when he just went like crazy. Okay, so the first line he said, "I put a smile on my mama, good health and good karma. Yeah, she deserves it all. 100 murals in Compton. Remember me? I kept my promise." I don't ever remember him mentioning or saying that, but in the light of the recent events with the murals and stuff, that makes sense to me. Yeah, we deserve it all. A better life for my daughter. Made my son take your father than his father. Yeah, he deserves it all. A close relationship with God. Whisper to me every time I close my eyes. He say, I notice how he switching up. He say, you deserve it all. And right there, I just feel so that's just him like submitting his true faith, like his relationship with God. Like I literally go through the process. I pray. I talk to God. He spoke back to me. This is what he said. That's the kind of shit that I got to do better. That's the kind of stuff that I like to see or hear, because it gives me something like to visually see and compare to. So that's what I like that. And then, yeah, he just starts spazzing at the end. Keep these bitch niggas away from me. Keep all my blessings faithfully. Keep my essence contagious. That's okay with me. I burn this bitch down. Don't you play with me or stay with me. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe with me. I did it with integrity. Niggas still trying to hate on me. Just wait and see. More blood spilling. It's just painting me dangerously. Nothing's changing with me. Still got pain in me. Flip a coin. You want the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it angers me when lanes speak on the origins of the game I breathe? That's insane to me. It's important. I deserve it. I deserve it all because it's mine. Now tell me, do you deserve the greatest of all time?
Man,
I know this shit because we had this conversation all the time off mic. The how annoying does it angers me how lanes can speak on the origins of the game I breathe. I know you felt this shit.
Yeah,
because all the shit that the guys that's in hip hop that's really creating narrative and speaking on things that have no weight. Their opinion really it really like doesn't garner any type of respect.
They ain't got no business talking the shit that they saying, bro. No business at all.
Like when he said that shit, I immediately thought about you, bro. The whole time,
that
bro.
Shit made me, because I was just like, damn, like as I was doing my breakdown today, I was just like, damn, bro, like y'all so disrespectful, like the people, because okay. So I was watching, shout out to Touré, and it's the other co-host, I don't know his name, but
Touré is credible.
He's on TikTok and Instagram a lot. He wears nothing but green, and he does like he's a hip hop artist too, but he does like breakdowns and gives like the perspective of a practitioner per Touré. But they have a show they're on a YouTube channel called Rap Latte. So if you put it up, you'll see. Okay. But they referred to academics as basically an unpaid publicist.
Yeah.
That's like, and we have to make clear delineations between all of the pieces of media, like, or persons in media. Like some people are just media personalities. Like some people are just creating media, but like journalists, publicists, person who has high subscriber count, YouTube channel or Twitch, that doesn't make them on par with somebody who's actually giving back to the culture and somebody who's been acclaimed and highlighted by the culture. Like you just have a lot of people who watch you say stupid shit because they like stupid shit, and that's cool. But don't for 1 second think that you can sit here and try to sway narrative or rewrite history just because you have a lot of people watching you.
It's a lot of people doing that shit, revisionist history.
A lot of people trying it.
I don't like it, bro.
And truth be told, like at the end of the day, 10 years from now, like people gonna look back and do research. I'm like, damn, like you really sold your ass, like for somebody who wouldn't even acknowledge you in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's crazy.
Like for academics in particular, like he's never even met Drake.
Really?
Never. So for him to be willing to put so much on the line in terms of how people view you, for somebody you haven't met, for somebody who's not making accommodations for you outside of leaking you certain information to push a narrative, that's disgusting, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, but he came into hip hop weird anyway, highlighting the Chicago stuff, so he's just one of them terrible people who really shouldn't have a space, who shouldn't be considered hip hop media for the most part. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have the backing, he doesn't have any integrity, nor the true knowledge to really be a beacon for hip hop, especially in the way that it needs to be presented. So that's why I took such offense to that shit.
And then with actors in general, like you can tell, like he came into the game on bullshit, but once he actually got a legit platform in everyday struggle, I feel as though at that point in time, he was actually trying to turn the corner a little bit of being like not necessarily a legit journalist, but someone who has a decent opinion.
He wanted to be, I think for a moment, he wanted to be respected until he found out that he can make money being a fucking clown show.
So then he's reverted and just, I ain't gonna say reverted, but he definitely went into another lane.
He became a clown.
Yeah.
And he was always a clown.
Yeah.
But I think he just was like, you know what? Nah, like if I can be a star on my own, why would I try to be Speedy from Complex?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I think Joe kind of challenged him a lot too.
Because back then he was telling the truth, or he was telling a version of the truth. Because back then he was saying, hey, Kendrick got the better discography, Kendrick this, Kendrick that. And now it's like Kendrick don't even exist except for utterly negative narratives to be pushed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go out of your way to down talk him when you were once being, at least what I perceive as truthful, because that goes more with common knowledge. Like Kendrick has a great discography. Like Kendrick is this, Kendrick is that. Like even if you don't feel like he's the best, you have to appreciate what he's done and contributed to the genre. Right. But now it's something completely different. It's like, okay, when did he become opposition to you?
Yeah.
And also the inability to be objective is a part of media that Kendrick and a lot of people in media who've worked their ass off for decades to get to a specific position have such issue with. And I understand that shit to 1,000%, because it's like, as we building up what we doing, you know what I mean? Like it can piss you off to see you working hard doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And then for other people to be making waves doing the goofy shit.
I mean, that's just in life in general, but definitely doing this right here. Like you clear, like we not trying to cause division or pod wars and none of that other bullshit, bro. We just trying to, like, you know, kick game on a genre or music or just lifestyles that we love and enjoy, that we believe in.
Yeah, we're not big in the program, bro. Like without hip hop, this wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like that's why we've basically created a monument to like pieces of art. This isn't just music. This is art. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we have to uphold it with that. So when people just come in and like, oh yeah, it only did 75,000 copies, it's trash. Like, come on, bro. Like,
it's not though.
It's much more than that. Like that's somebody who was able to sell 75,000 copies of something that they created from their brain, bro. Like thoughtful, articulate, inspirational in some cases. You know what I mean? So we gonna treat it as such.
That's why when it comes to judging art form, I've never used numbers as a metric in terms of like grading an album.
Yeah, that's a stupid way to evaluate. That's a stupid way to evaluate anything.
Yeah,
especially anything of the creative variety.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so we're not gonna do none of that shit. But let's finish this back half of this third verse.
Yeah.
Did you get all your shit off?
He said, "Keep these bitch ass niggas away from me." So I mean, I'm assuming that's him continuously drawing the line in the sand from the beef, It's like, look, I see y'all over there. Y'all stay over there. I'm gonna be over here. So just keep these bitch niggas away from me. Keep all my blessings faithfully. Keep my essence contagious. That's okay with me. I feel so that's big because if Kendrick is trying to move the genre forward in terms of trying to be more positive or trying to invoke discipline into the music, if y'all want to be like me, y'all want to gravitate off my essence, it's okay with me. Take what I'm doing, learn the steps that I'm making, because I guarantee you, if you're living justly and righteously, like, it's gonna come for you. So yeah, keep my essence contagious. That's okay with me. Yeah. I thought that was really big.
Yeah, and just with the listener too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if I can inspire you, if I can inspire positive thought, like which leads to positive action and positive behavior.
Yeah,
like that's fine. Like how I'm rewarded, that's God's decision.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like
that's what I'm looking for.
If I can get to the place where I'm just inspiring challenging thought,
yeah,
which leads to, you know, somebody becoming a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, that's what I'm in it for. Like, of course, I want to get paid because I put my I bet my soul and put my heart up in it.
Yeah.
So like, I do want something back, but I deserve it all.
Like if I didn't want money for it, I would just record it and never release it.
Yeah, I deserve it all. I need the money. I need the accolades. I need to be able to inspire. I need my name to be next to the world leaders. I need to be impactful.
Yeah.
And be compensated. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like you can be noble and be paid for being noble if your initial intent is to be noble.
Right.
Like the good people don't have to just be broke. You feel what I'm saying? So like,
and I like how like he's acknowledging that. He was like, I did it with integrity, and niggas still try to hate on me. Just wait and see. I burn this bitch down. Don't play with me or stay with me. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe
with me. Friend or foe, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me.
I felt that shit, bro. I really did, and I like how just like hearing this song like audibly like this, like he layered his vocals on this part just to give like extra emphasis on what he's saying. Like that shit just gave me chills.
You know, like on have you seen the Fellowship of the Ring?
No, I don't. I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Hey, for my Lord of the Rings people, I don't know Shawty name, but when Frodo was telling her to get the ring, and then she turns into like this. Like her dark side kind of comes out, and you gotta watch that part just to see what I'm saying. Whenever you get a chance, and like she had like they did like this weird reverb stacking on her voice, and that's what this sound like. Damn, I wish you would have understood what I was talking about. But
yeah, I never seen it.
just it's at the beginning. Just watch it because she like the queen of the elves or some shit. I can't remember. But anyway,
all right.
From the point of how annoying. Well, shit, I kind of got a lot. Give me 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
Let me rock out.
I saw.
But from keep these bitch niggas away from me to no one's safe from me. He said the declaration of the crash out begins.
Yeah.
However, he also pleads for continued blessings and for his essence, like you said, to continue to radiate and inspire those he reaches. He alludes to the possibility of being combustible at this point in time, so it's best to be alone for him because no one's safe. Don't play with him or stand in his blast radius. I did it with integrity all the way to shameless me or the famous me. He feels slighted by all of the backlash from those who should be proud of him, or at the very least be proud of what he's doing in hip hop. And doing in hip hop, they are turning their back on him. Well, he feels like they're either turning their back on him or turning up their nose while he believes that he has made this level of progress and garnered his accolades and acclaim through integrity to the art form and to himself, which creates immense anger in him. And I couldn't understand that. As he feels like nothing about him at his core has changed due to the pain that he still harbors within him and the flip of a coin he can deliver either side of him. In this state, he declares that there is more blood to be spilled and it's merely paint to him, showing how frivolous your blood would be to spill. Showing how he now values the hip hop landscape, especially to those who seek to challenge him. Bro, y'all better leave him alone.
Yeah.
Because he said it's more blood to be spilled. So whatever time he on, he not done, and he really don't value none of y'all to the point of sparing y'all.
Yeah.
And then from how annoying does it anger me to that's insane to me, I feel like he's talking about the self-proclaimed media members, and we kind of talked about this. He lives and breathes hip-hop and continues to reiterate that in his interviews and his music and his speeches.
Yeah.
So for them to disrespect in such a way really infuriates him because they don't regard it in the way they should, and they want to be respected or have a meaningful voice in the culture. So basically, y'all got to shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
So from it's important to I deserve it. This question could be to anyone looking to attain true GOAT status, and not just GOAT like y'all give everybody. Everybody not the GOAT.
Yeah, man.
GOAT means greatest of all time. That's a singular person.
Not greater.
Yeah. Or great.
Not great all time.
Yeah. Great. I don't know. Whatever. But I personally believe he's
good
asking,
of all time.
Yeah. I personally believe he's asking himself and answering the question in the next line. Tell me why you think you deserve to be the greatest of all time? Because I deserve it all.
Yeah.
He could also be talking to J.Cole and Drake, which will give credence to what he was saying in those earlier verses. I think he made space for both of them. So to get to the point where he says, hey, why do you think what have you done to be the greatest? Because I can tell you through what I've done that y'all see what I've done.
Yeah.
I deserve it all.
And honestly, I really think that the fact that Kendrick was able to make all his songs so layered and doubled to where it can count for both of them. Just imagine if he just solely focused on you, Cole. Like he did Drake.
I'm trying to tell you.
That shit would be...
It could get dark, bro.
That shit would be nasty. So I'm kind of glad it went this route.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
And I like the aspect of this last line, the question and answer being ambiguous, because it continues the earnest aspect if he say, hey, I'm asking myself, but I'm reaffirming to myself, like I've done this entire song, I deserve it all because I work for it. Yeah. But also if he's speaking to them, it continues to crash out. So wickedness or weakness, like I'm on either side. Like I'm either being humble or I'm really putting 2 feet down, 10 toes down into this crash out. You know what I mean? So it's either way for me, especially, and that lines up with the third verse, the crash out side. But the humility side lines up with the entire song. So I think it's dope that it can be interpreted either way.
And you got to hit me with some quadruple entendre.
Some shit I
don't even understand. It's crazy, man.
But yeah, man, I love this song, bro. This is one of my favorite songs on the album, bro. I think second to Reincarnated.
I can't take
as far as art is concerned, but like it slaps TV off. Fucking nigga, I love GNX. I just love this whole album, bro. It's not one skip on here for me. And I feel like I'm glad he was able to give like a more straightforward album for people who feel like, yeah, he's over the top, man. So he serviced everybody. Like,
and Dodger Blue starting to grow on me a lot more too.
Bro, I love that song too.
Yeah, that shit hard.
I ain't from the land, but bitch, I'm from the land.
But nah, that's pretty much all I really got for this one. Unless you got something else.
Nah, that's all I got. Like I said, great song, and we'll get to the next one.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all for tuning into this lyric breakdown for Man at the Garden by Kendrick Lamar from his last album, GNX. Like, comment, share, and subscribe first. You know what I'm saying? So we can hit that 20,000 subscriber point. And until next time, man, we out of here. Peace.
You got that.